What is up? What is up? What is up? TEKNOBLAST on TEKNO's Gaming with SIKSLAYER, and we may have another guest on board in a second. It's been 2 weeks since the last time I was online, and here I am back. I took a week off because I went to Houston for the weekend, or last weekend, for about 4 or 5 days to go see my parents and my other family members over there. They haven't seen my kids in a long time, so when they saw them, they were like, "Oh my God, they're big!" Yeah, so big and then tall. They're big and tall, and they haven't seen them in months. It was good for them to see them. Hang out with the family a little bit. We went to a car museum, an art car museum, which was cool. We went to the science museum so we could look at the shark exhibit that was there, and it was the most pathetic shark exhibit ever. So if you're in the Houston area, you're gonna go to the shark exhibit at the science museum. Don't waste your money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It pissed me off at the end, and I'm not gonna fall for that crap again. And the funny thing, I used to work at the science museum when I was back in my younger days, when I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do with my life, and I worked at the museum at some point.
And you went there anyway, knowing it wasn't the best of places to go. Anyway,
no, the museum itself is good. It was the shark exhibit which was pathetic. That was because it's a temporary exhibit. It's one of those special shows that they have, and so the rest of the museum is fine. It's fun to go to. It's really nice because they have a lot of like dinosaur bones and stuff like that. But the temporary shark exhibit that they have, because I guess it's Shark Week. I don't know if it's Shark Week or not. So they had it, and I saw the ad for it. Like, yeah, the megalodon, this and the history and blah blah. So you walk in, and it's like you get bombarded with these models of what sharks used to look like and what how they evolved from one form to another. They had like this big teeth of megalodon and everything, which is cool. I wasn't expecting the real megalodon. I knew what to expect, right? But in the ad, it says, "Come see live sharks and blah blah blah." Live sharks in our tank. I'm like, oh, cool. They got a tank. It's like full of sharks. Like, sweet, man. It's like, I'm sold, right? So I got the kids all hyped up, man. Like, hey, man, so we're gonna go see sharks. Like, yeah, let's go see sharks. Took him to go see it. Well, so my youngest one kept asking me, like, when are we gonna see the sharks, Daddy? When are we gonna see the sharks? That's at the very end. They saved the best for last. So we get there, and I'm looking around. I was like, this is it. It's one of those stupid water petting zoo tanks. That's like waist high, right? That's only about 2 or 3 feet deep, right? And one side they have like these starfish and crabs and stuff that there's only certain ones you can touch, right? Yeah. And then on the big side where you can't put your hand in there, that's where they're supposedly have sharks in, right? So there was these like these mini stingrays. I don't know what they were, right? They were in there, but they weren't moving around. They just kept like sitting in the sand. And then some kids they're just curious. They want to put their hand in the water either way. And the lady was like, "Don't put your hands in the water. Please don't put your hands in the water." And it said, because you're gonna like mess with the sharks that are in there. I was like, "What sharks?" And she kept saying the sand sharks, right? And I'm like, "Are you serious?" It's like you put sand sharks in a tank that has sand on the bottom, and sand sharks love to be buried in the sand.
Right. Hence
So now they're camouflage, and we can't see them. We didn't see them at all. Like, no sharks. I didn't see no real sharks at all.
Oh,
and I look at my sister. It's like, this is bullshit.
Not even real sharks.
Right? It's in there somewhere. I just didn't see it.
Like Prego, it's in there.
It's in there. Yeah. So, and it's like, you know what, man, let's go have some fun. So, we went to do some extra things. We went out to eat, got some sweets and stuff. So we made the best of it. So now I know next time not to fall for that stupid ad and crap like that. I should have known better, but
yeah,
it was sharks. Sharks got me.
So they got you one way or another.
They got me one way or another. So, then I came back on what was it? I came back Monday. Yeah, I came back. I took a day off on Monday. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take it easy and drive back as just smooth. Up 45 to Dallas. Came back, and now we're here. So
But did the kids like it at all? The whole
Oh
shark
yeah,
thing, or
yeah, and they got to see their cousins, my nieces, so they got to hang out with them too. So it was good.
Well, that's the most important thing. If you didn't like it, like frankly, it doesn't really fucking matter, right? It's really about the kids, if they like it, So
Yeah.
as long as they like it, bro.
Yeah,
That's the most important.
They liked it, and I like just going back to Houston. That's my home,
Right.
So I like going back when I can and everything. So
Yeah, it's
it
like
was-
whenever
it was
I
good.
get to go to New York, right?
There you go. Same thing.
Same thing.
Same feeling. It's like, oh man, I'm home now.
Yep.
Even though this is my home for the last 13 years or so, I mean, Houston's my home. It's like,
Yeah, same with me in
home.
Pennsylvania. I'm from Brooklyn, but yeah, man. Like if I was to move out of here and go to, I don't know, wherever else, I'm gonna miss this. Or even if I went back to New York, for example, I'd still miss this. But
my wife said to me one time, this is a while back, and I'll never forget because it always stuck in my head. She goes, if anything happens to me, right? She always has this doom and gloom thing, right? If anything happens to me, just don't take the kids back to Houston. I was like, that's the first thing I'm doing. It's like, I'm going back to Houston. I'm not staying here. So,
nuts to that.
it's like, you can't do that to my parents. And so what about my parents? They can't see the kids either, or what? It's like your parents had like a good 13 year or whatever number of years with the grandkids. I think it's time for my parents, if anything happens to you, that they get to have them for 10 to 13 years,
Yeah.
And so, but oh man,
That's how it goes. That's how it goes, though.
it's how it goes, man. So I didn't keep up with any gaming stuff that's going on. Maybe I occasionally looked on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. The only thing I did see was the Call of Duty servers were lit up. People were saying,
yeah, we definitely got to talk about that too when we talk about some other things. We got to bring that up real quick. But shout out to the chat. Punty the Loyal is always there first. 100's there. Hey, what? Brooklyn shoot. Shame. Oh, okay. Got you.
Shame on you.
No. He's quoting ODB.
Oh.
Yeah, he's quoting ODB. R.I.P. to ODB. All right, so let's talk about that first thing real quick, since that wasn't a part of the plan.
What, the Call of Duty?
Yeah, about the Call of Duty and the servers. So,
oh man, it's right there in the title. Old Call of Duty servers are lit up.
All right, cool. I didn't see the headline because we were just discussing what we were gonna do earlier. All right, so with the whole thing with the ABK deal, basically, set in stone. It hasn't actually happened yet, but all the roadblocks are gone, right? Or whatever it is they're waiting on before
the important ones,
pen to paper.
The ones that mattered are gone. Yeah.
Right. So whatever is holding them up from putting pen to paper, I don't know what it is, but it's formalities. I'm sure it'll be done soon, right?
Yeah,
so, Microsoft on their end, of course, the technology company they are, they worked on the server end, that they, have control over, and they fixed, the server side of the Call of Duty games that they already have on the 360, as we all know. Backwards compatibility is there. Xbox Live still works for the 360, the Xbox One and now the Series. So it's all there, the backwards compatibility. So, hey, they fixed the servers. They play.
Dude, and no time. Now, granted, they probably did this way before, or they had it all prepped up, ready to go before the court thing was over, right?
Maybe not. Maybe, well.
I mean, I know it's not a flip of the switch. It's not a flip of the switch.
It's not a flip of the switch, but knowing Microsoft, I don't think they put top men on this, right? It didn't take top men. In fact, who was it? Not Mr. Kima, Kay Asante, right? He was mentioning this in the podcast, and he's right. They just spun up a virtual server or whatever. But they still have all the archives of everything. They did what they had to do, and they got these servers up, right? Meanwhile, on PlayStation, I don't know what's up with the PlayStation version of the servers, but that's up to Sony to fix, right? Or Activision, so that's not happening. On the PC side, the servers always still work this whole time, but now I'm hearing from Modern Warfare 2, the classic Modern Warfare 2, not the newer one, that there's a exploit that's going on right now, right? It can infect your system. If you're playing in a lobby with somebody that has it, it self-replicates, so your system can get infected, and then you can spread it out to other people. So it's ridiculous. So hopefully, when Microsoft, finally finishes the ABK deal, they can fix those servers and get that security exploit under under wraps, fix that up. And even with the PlayStation side, I mean, whatever is within their purview to handle, I'm sure if there's issues on the PlayStation side, that's going to get addressed in due time. I'm sure it won't be number one priority.
No. Priority is home first.
Right.
Take
but
care
I'm
of that.
sure they'll fix it because it's a financial thing. It's the same reason why Call of Duty was always going to be offered on PlayStation all along anyway, right? Like there's so many people who play it. It's financially smart to at least still fix it.
But sick. I mean, what do you say to all the Xbox boys? Like, you buy Xbox to play old games?
Well, I don't know about you, but I play good games. I don't care how old they are. I'll still play Commodore 64. I still get a couple of new ones that are still being developed to this game as long as they're fun, So shout out to Microsoft for doing, the little smart thing. Now, to be honest, Joe, it's kind of shifty because as we can see with the situation, this was something that was always within Microsoft's purview to do, right? Like anytime a new Call of Duty comes out, all of a sudden the hackers start to flood the old one, right? Because that's not the focus.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the exploits, like I've mentioned this before too, when Modern Warfare 2, for example, first became backwards compatible, a lot of people started playing those again.
Oh, I did, and it was crap.
Right? And it was crap because the same exploits and stuff that were happening there, where if you hop in a room, it can max out your XP or zero it out. Like that's old news. I
saw people flying around in the sky, man.
I still have the videos somewhere. If we were more prepared, I would have had the video set up so we could watch it, right? But basically, I still have it in my archives. I know exactly where it is. Where basically, you can hop in a room, it can max out your XP or zero you out. I was listening to the Dr. Dark's podcast last night. He was talking about how he hopped in a room, everybody was converted into a dog, and all their weapons were shooting out their mouth. So everybody could play. It was just the character model was a dog, but everything was normal. So it just goes to show that these hackers are here, and Microsoft or whoever could have long since fixed them, but it's only when it's financially viable for them that they bother to do it, right? Like, this is something that, needs to be handled more often, especially if it's something that Microsoft can take care of on their end and it has nothing to do with the publisher, right? Like, they should go ahead and do that, right?
And since they're the publisher.
Right. But even when they're not the publisher, like right now, they're still not the publisher. They don't own ABK yet.
Yeah.
But they fix what's on their side, the servers, right? Because apparently in between the time when it became backwards compatible and now, there was some issue and they weren't playable anymore, and they went and they fixed it. And I'm sure whatever exploits is there, and we still see the exploits there, they should be fixing that, but that probably requires more on them, right? And I'm sure they'll handle that after the fact. But it's funny that even is a thing.
So I posted not even an hour ago or so. How could I forget? The classic Call of Duty online servers are 100% running thanks to the acquisition of ABK. This can only be possible with Xbox money. Sony would never with their coin jar.
Never. They really wouldn't.
Let's discuss. Yes. No, they would never with their little coin purse that they got. Thinking
because just like you say, when you were asking me, who cares about, old games? Well, PlayStation definitely doesn't care about old games. I don't know if it was Jim Ryan or it was somebody else who was a higher up when they were showing Gran Turismo. They were showing they had some kind of display where they were showing off a lot of the older ones, right? And basically, dude said, it's like, who's playing these old Gran Turismos? It's like he doesn't understand the industry he's in or something. It's like, it's a culture thing within Sony. They don't care about that. Well, at least at the top, because obviously lower down when people were setting up, all this stuff that somebody at Sony cared to show the older ones. That's why they were there to be displayed in the first place, right? But up top where he is, he's like, who cares about this? It just goes to show the disconnect between the leadership and the active people at Sony who probably want better and more, but without leadership, to approve it and accept it, it's not there. And that's the problem with Sony. Meanwhile, with Microsoft, we see from top to bottom, they give Fs. We see this whole thing with AntStream, like the streaming online, retro gaming service that they have there, right? That you purchase that's on Xbox. it's because of Phil Spencer, the developer, has said, because he cares about, our gaming past and making sure it's still accessible. It's a big issue within the gaming community where, a lot of source code for a lot of these games isn't available because they didn't archive it properly and stuff, right? So at least they have that, as particularly with Xbox, they have archives of
preservation, like Phil Spencer said a while back. It's all about preservation.
Yeah, preservation, exactly. That's the term I was looking for. It's very important, and it's important to him, right? And
because we preserve movies, we preserve books, we preserve music, we preserve scripts, everything, documents, deeds, certificates. We preserve everything, but no one ever thought about video games.
Yeah, right? Preserving software. This is very important.
Like where's the source code for Mario Brothers? Somebody has it.
Well, Nintendo definitely has that because remember a couple years ago, a lot of that stuff got leaked, so we know Nintendo has it, right? Capcom has the source code to Street Fighter. They've been using the source code when they make all these iterations of older things, and they implement it into the new ones. Like this is why the feel of Street Fighter is still right, because they still have that source code and stuff like that. Like if a game is big enough, they've got the source code. If not, they don't care. And it seems like and that's a big problem. And that's the difference. And you see it now in play, right? Now folks want to play their Call of Duty, their top selling games once again, right? Xboxes are being sold out everywhere because people want to play good, fun games. They don't care about how old it is, right? Yeah. It just goes to show, because if it didn't matter, none of this stuff would be blowing up the way it is now.
It's so true. Like right now, my son finished Exoprimal, so that's something that's current. Right? And then he saw the install files for Starfield. And he's like, what's Starfield? And I was trying to explain to him what it is. And I said, you know what? This is today. I told him, if you want to know what Starfield is like, here's a game I recommend you play. Just to get a feel of what it's like.
Which game was that?
Fallout 4.
Okay. Good choice.
I say, try this one. It's like, watch the trailer, watch the little video, the cartoon video that they keep showing, the special, your abilities and all that. It's like, it's all important to watch these to understand what you're getting into. I say, you'll eventually get into the game once you watch like this 10-minute video thing of the special, right? The strength, the perceptive, the agility and all that stuff. You have to understand what all that means for your character. And it's like, and then you'll start popping into the game, and it's like it's an open world pretty much. It's just open world, and it's like RGP. Well, it's like a role playing game. At some, you'll like it. I was like, and there's some light building in this one, so you can build your community if you want to build, because he likes building stuff.
Oh, then he'll build. Yeah.
You can build your community.
Shapes, all types of stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
He's a builder. That's a good point. Yeah. A lot of the kids who've grown up on Minecraft, which is at least a decade old now, if not older at this point already, right? So who grew up on like kids who were like 5 and 6, when Minecraft came out, or 15 and 16 now, or Roblox and other games like that, where there's a lot of construction elements where you build and create for yourself, right? Starfield, wow, that's gonna blow minds if they create stuff like that. Yeah,
right. So I say, play this one, just give it a try. And you'll like it. He's like, all right, dude. He was playing for 2 hours straight before I kicked him out of here. Before the show, I kicked him out. It's like, you know what? The other Xbox is upstairs. Go play on that one. You'll be fine. You can continue on. He's like, all right. And sure enough, man, it's like, have you found your settlement yet? So you can build. He's like, yep, already built some stuff. It's like, there you go. See,
already built stuff.
So there you go. He's like, how do I fix my armor? And I'm like, you know what? I haven't played in a long time. I don't know. You probably have to look it up. And so he's like, all right. So now he's hooked. He's hooked. But it's an old game. It's not very old, but still, it's older than some of the recent ones. So, Oh,
speaking of devil.
So I don't know. That's the younger one. So and so he's enjoying it right now, and I'm like, all right, well, this is what Starfield is kind of going to be like, but
bigger.
But bigger and better in space.
In space.
And it's not gonna have the little Pit Boy cartoony thing going on because that's just Fallout. That's
that's their vibe.
Yeah, that's their vibe. They like to keep the kind of like the 50s vibe going in that game for some reason. And but he's like, all right. So he's tried it out and he's like, all right. He also picked up on the Jurassic World evolution, the one you build your park.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He built a massive park, dude. I don't have the patience for that type of games.
Yeah, well, that's he's young, free time.
Yeah, free time. So he's just sitting in back, and before you know it, he has this huge community. There's people, walking around in his little park that he has. He has these dinosaurs, and he got the carnivores separated with the herbivores separated. And it's just he got the monorail going and everything. He's trying to manage the park because he has to manage it, make sure the dinosaurs are not dying or healthy. He's doing everything. So he's picking up. He likes those type of games. It's like I can't do those. It's like, and I told him if you like this game, you need to try out Skylines. If you like to build
city skylines.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, he likes it. Oh, and another thing, while we were in Houston, I knew he was going to have some downtime while we're over there. I hooked him up on the tablet. He was able to continue his Jurassic World through the cloud.
Nice.
I said, let me bring a controller and I'll get you hooked up to play here. He's like, all right. And then
smart.
And I asked him, so how did it go? Because he played I don't play much on the cloud though, just because I'm always home. Right. He's like, dude, it's like it worked just fine. It's like the graphics are a little off, and it's like, well, that's understandable. Otherwise, it was running just fine. I was like, sweet, there you go. We have it on the cloud. Games on the cloud.
Wow, man, that's what I was thinking about earlier when you were like, okay, I gotta take this. You can go play upstairs now because I'm about to do the show. And I was thinking to myself, oh, is he gonna tell me to use the cloud to continue this game? I'm like,
nah, I got the Xbox One set up at the other room over there.
Nice.
And so since Fallout 4 is a Xbox One game, it just works everywhere. Thanks, Xbox. Play anywhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just works.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. So yeah, it'll work on the cloud. It'll work on the Xbox One and the Series X. So there you go. So fun time. So have you jumped on the Call of Duty servers?
No. Because I know about all the server shenanigans that were still going on in terms of Modern Warfare 2. I have Black Ops 1, but I never owned Black Ops 2. I did get it on PC for the single player, right?
Yeah.
I had stopped playing the multiplayer after Modern Warfare 3. I always tell the story that in particular that game had a special edition where you got all the DLCs.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's a special edition that you buy or whatever. It'll give you all the DLCs. Like, what was the term for that when you buy a version of the game and it comes with all the planned expansion packs ahead of time, right? So, but basically, what you would have to do is every time they released a DLC, which I think was every other month was their plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to go in and make sure you purchased or a quote unquote.
Oh yeah, that's like Battlefield's premium pass or something like that.
Right, premium pass. That's what it is. But the premium pass only lasted for that year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just for that release. Yeah,
you had to make sure you had to download it and make sure it was or at least like download like you purchased it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that way it's in your account that you have it. So the last time I played Call of Duty Online multiplayer was the first DLC. When it came out, I made sure I downloaded it, I tried it out, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm done with Call of Duty. But every other month, I made sure that I went to the store and I made sure I put it as a part of my account because I paid for the premium pass. But ever since then, I never played. And Black Ops 2, yeah, I never even played that one except on PC for the single player. So I
played all of them for their single player. Every now and then I'll jump on their online stuff just to get some quick action. Because I mean, just to be fair, they have good servers when they're running fine, and you can just jump into a lobby really quick, right?
Yeah.
Compared to Battlefield, which is my preference, it takes a while for the servers to get going because you have to wait for so many
Yeah.
players. You know,
Right, people to come in, and even though they have the bots aren't really
yeah.
that good to hold you down. Meanwhile, so
Mm-mm. And so I haven't played Vanguard. I never played Vanguard, so I don't know. I don't know what that game is like. I think the last one I got was Modern Warfare 2.
right, I got
The
that
recent
last
one?
year.
The recent-
I got that as a gift last year from New Legal, but I still haven't finished that. I need to go back and finish that.
Yeah.
But I also need to finish High on Life. I keep talking about that, but I never.
Yeah, finished it yet? Oh my!
I
Let's
haven't-
do it. Let's do it.
I need to get to that. Let's do it. I need to, especially now they have the DLC. No, wait, it's not DLC. It finally came to PlayStation. Now they cap it for the game. Now it's a good game. Now
Now it's a good game, right? Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Now it's a fantastic and funny game because it's on PlayStation. But if it was on Xbox, oh no, it's trash.
you know how it
Right.
goes. You know. How
Oh,
it goes.
it's trash. It's always trash when it's only on Xbox, but it's fantastic when it's multi console or only on PlayStation. It's just the way it works. You know, that's how it is. We just gotta live with it and deal with it, and that's it. The Sunny ponies, I swear, dude.
Yeah,
What do you
it's
do?
a
What do you
little
do?
ridiculous, bro.
What do you
I don't
do?
know, man. At this point now, like, what can they really say to phase any of us, right? All the talking points now are on our side. This is something, I always say on Legal's podcast. Like,
Mhm.
stop acting like we haven't already, quote unquote, won. Like, why does it phase you whatever they say, man? Keep your foot on the next. When you want to talk crap on Twitter, all you have to do is post pictures of Starfield. Trust me, you win already. Okay?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
we all know they were
But
coming for that so
it's
hard.
not exclusive, Sick. It's not exclusive because it's coming out on PC, so it's not truly exclusive, Sick. So there, take
You're
that.
on the platform that Microsoft runs. That's going to make Microsoft money, even if it's sold on Steam, because you still need a PC to play it, even if they didn't own Bethesda, right? Just
But even
play it on PC.
even if they go to the PC route, it's still a Microsoft game, and you're giving
Right.
them money.
Right. But even if it wasn't, like, even if Microsoft never owned Bethesda, right? To get the PC version means you have to buy a PC, which means you're running Windows. Microsoft already got your money. You already gave them money. You already validating that PC platform by default, right?
Yes.
Plus the fact that they own Bethesda and everything else is like, come on, you can't say nothing versus that. And that's a simple fact. Just drop pictures of Starfield, and they're salty as hell about that because remember, they were trying to purchase the exclusivity for that because they knew it was a good game. So they could sit there and claim it's not a good game all they want. It was a good game when they thought it was going to be exclusive to them.
Oh yeah, it always is.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
We talk about that so many times, so who cares? But long story short is, it doesn't matter what they say now.
I've had this pin since last year, July 4th. It's been over a year now. Let me put this on the screen. Bethesda Starfield coming exclusive to Xbox Series, and it's been pinned since then on my what do I call it now? X page.
I guess so. The X page. Oh, by the way, I bought the pack. X gonna give it to you.
Right there, baby.
I'm still gonna call it Twitter. Everybody's still calling it Twitter.
I don't know. It's like, what's the point of renaming it, dude? Let's just keep it the way it is. Jeez.
Jeremy Merchant is here in the chat. Good to hear you feeling much better, buddy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Quit fighting those kangaroos, man. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, trying to fight, man. I don't know what he's trying to prove out there in the down under. What was I gonna say? So, what'd you buy? You said you bought the Starfield something.
The collect. The DLC version. Like the same thing that they did for Forza there for $35. Basically.
Okay. I haven't
the
done
deluxe
it.
version plus the next DLC that'll be out. Right, like you get that, in your account. So, it's a Game Pass game. You don't need to purchase the game. So I'll just get that.
Just purchase the add-ons. Yeah.
Right, just purchase the add-on.
And that's a lot more affordable than buying the game because then you're just getting the game, the base game.
Right. Yeah. So I've got that.
So,
I'm already on Game Pass. Can't live without Game Pass. So
you can't. Microsoft is not losing on this, or Xbox. They're not losing on this. I don't know how people spin it to say that, they could have sold so many copies. It's not guaranteed they would have sold a lot more copies on PlayStation, even with their so-called larger base, because
actually,
it proves
it's been proven that they're not. Actually.
Exactly. It's been proven many times. They don't even support their own games. So why would a third-party game, because it's going to be this awesome, will just, all of a sudden succeed on that platform because it has a larger base on there,
Right.
It's just stupid. It's such a stupid, argument they keep making. Like, they're missing out. They're missing out on a large player base. No, they're not.
No, they're
not missing them. Because here's the thing: they hate that Bethesda is Xbox, so they're gonna come together and say, "Let's boycott Starfield." There's always gonna be that group, right? Yep. There's always that group. They'll be like, I'm not gonna buy anything Bethesda because it's owned by Microsoft, and I hate them that bad. But if it was exclusive to PlayStation, it would have been great.
Same game. In fact, a better game than it would have been because Bethesda would have put the game out already. Microsoft held them back. Everybody talks about
like Cyberpunk.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like what Cyberpunk should have done, right?
Yeah.
Right. Everybody talks about Bugfesta. They had that reputation, so Microsoft was like, you know what? Yeah, let's hold this back for a year. So the game is in a better state than it would have been if Microsoft didn't purchase the company.
Yeah.
Okay, we already see the influence that it has had on the gunplay aspect, right? A lot of the criticism that people had when they saw it last year, was clearly addressed when we saw it at the showcase.
Oh, was it bad? Was it really bad?
It wasn't bad, but you could tell there was improvement, and they explained that it actually helped with that aspect, right? So, the fact that Microsoft,
but again, it's not your traditional shooter game. It's a role-playing game, kind of like Fallout, where in Fallout, dude, your gun is going all over the place because your character is not upgraded yet.
Right.
So I'm thinking Starfield's the same way.
No, it is, but people saw the footage and they were like, there's some iffiness with this and that, and true to form, Microsoft did address those things. And when we saw at the showcase, there was a clear improvement that everybody saw. Everybody who had those issues and complaints last year are largely satisfied now, based on what they saw. So it's a positive thing. The fact that Microsoft purchased Bethesda improved what type of game Starfield would have been. It's going to be a better game than it otherwise would have been. That's just a simple fact now, right?
I'm going to be camping out at Best Buy and get the game first thing in the morning.
Oh, because you're going to get that special edition?
No, I'm just going to get the base game.
I thought you were getting the version with the big box and the watch and all that stuff. No,
I just want to camp out. I'll be the only one out there. Say, what are you doing here? I'm trying to camp out, man. What are you trying to get? Starfield. You know there's going to be plenty of copies. It's like, I know, but I want to make sure I got mine.
Like Call of Duty. But it's just like Call of Duty and Halo and all those things back in the day.
Right? I'm trying to come back. Camp out the store. I'm trying to bring that back, because I don't see too many of those. I don't see too many of those anymore. Yeah.
Ever since the pandemic, we haven't seen that a lot of that, but it was still happening before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Every Madden and Call of Duty and 2K, it was a common thing. It just the pandemic killed that, and then because of the influence of pandemic, like anybody who was questioning, the digital aspect, right? Except for like the diehards who were crazy into physical, right? Everybody pretty much switched over to that, like anybody who has an issue with digital downloads is like a small minority of the overall gaming community. So I feel like even though that still happens now, is nowhere as near as what it used to be, even just before the pandemic, and will never be again. So that's done.
So I want to bring up something that happened while I was gone, or during the week that I was leaving. Let's see if I can bring it up here. It has to do with Game Pass. Here it is. Where is the stupid image? Oh my god, really? Is that small? See if I can.
Is it the increased price
No,
aspect?
no.
Oh, okay.
It's the
We
new
discussed that
tier.
before.
The new tiers.
Oh, right, because they're killing off Xbox Live, and it's just a lower tier of Game Pass now.
Yeah.
Which,
It's just,
to me, yeah, let's discuss that because that, to me, makes no sense. Like,
well, here, let me start. Let me put this on the screen for it. Let me start here. So we got the 4 tier. I wasn't even planning all this. It's just something reminded me of this because we're talking about Starfield and everything. And people are losing their minds over this, and it's stupid. I think it's idiotic. They don't have any critical thinking at all.
yeah,
They're not looking at it for what it is and understanding where we came from with games. Live Gold to what we have now with Core.
mm-hmm.
Core is your old Gold.
Yeah,
Nothing changed.
basically.
The only difference now is that you don't have to wait every month for those 2 random games that you don't know what you're going to get, which are you going to complain about in the first place, right? People kept bitching and complaining about those 2 monthly games are trash. I don't like them, right?
Yes.
That's all you keep hearing every month, right? The monthly games are terrible, and I don't like them. You know, Game Pass is just eating up those two titles. And oh, they took away Xbox 360 games as well. Oh, we're only getting 2 games instead of 4. Jesus. So it was endless just ranting over this Core thing. So now instead of waiting for the 2 games per month, now you get 25 up front.
Right.
You don't have to wait.
Like rotate around, and
Right.
it'll be like Game Pass, but rotate around.
So here it says catalog of over 25 games. It could be 25 to 30. It could be 25 to 40. Who knows? That's Xbox call, you know, and you can't really complain about it because you're getting a lot more than the monthly ones you were getting before, right? And you gain a lot of the current games as well, right? For the current system, right? So you gain that
deals and the discounts, like when you
and
buy
the deals
stuff
and
on
discounts.
Game Pass.
Exactly.
Yeah, you still get that 20% off.
So going from Gold to Core is an upgrade.
Yeah,
and
free,
people are not getting that, right? So that's just people just being stupid, not thinking. Then console and PC, which have been in place since the beginning, right? Console never had multiplayer, right? It never had it, and somehow people kept saying console had multiplayer. No, it didn't.
That's what Ultimate is for.
That's what Ultimate is for.
Exactly.
Yes.
That was the difference.
So I did the math.
Console and Core together in one.
Yes. And so I made a video of this. I don't know if you saw it. It was recent.
I saw it.
And I pull out the calculator. Even Punty saw it because he put a comment in. I'll pull out the calculator. It's like Ultimate. With Ultimate, if you're planning to get Core plus console, because if you do Core and console as 2 separate purchases, you're paying a lot more than $20 plus taxes to get Ultimate, which is cheaper if you just go with Ultimate.
Yeah.
Right? And like, oh my God, it's like, what if I just want console? You can get console by itself if you want to. If you're one of those people that doesn't play online and doesn't care about online.
Yeah.
Right?
And you get some over 25 high quality games you can play that you even have to buy as part of the service.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
It's just insane how idiotic these people are, not thinking. They're thinking with their feelings. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this to us. Instead of just like
somebody wants to sit there and complain and make anything look bad. It's like that dude with the big forehead who's mad at the about the ABK deal. He used to work at what was that? Tiger Direct. That was a Tiger Direct guy. You remember when Linus Tech Tips used to work for NZXT? And there was the other guy who worked for Tiger Direct with the long hair. That's him. That's him. He used to have this smoking hot wife. And then I realized, and I used to follow him up until he posted his most recent video. I finally unfollowed him. But he's been on this weird conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat trip for a while now. And I don't mean in politics and conspiracy theories with like aliens and like and COVID and all wild shit like that. I'm talking about within the tech purview. He at least sticks to that angle, right? Yeah. And he's been with this crap for a long time. And this was the thing that finally made me just say, dude, I'm unsubscribing from this dude on YouTube because I was subscribing to him back when he first left Tiger Direct because when it shut down, right? I used to follow this guy, right? He would show, different types of, just like Linus. But see, Linus made something of himself. He's a multi-millionaire. This guy is just a weird-ass conspiracy theorist whose wife left him because God knows what was wrong with this guy, and you see it now. He's just like weirded out. But that's the mentality of the type of people who sit there and complain about stuff like this all the time.
Yes.
Like, you got to be a born hater.
Dude, if you treat core and console as two transactions, you're paying nearly $23 a month with taxes, depending on your state, right? Whereas, okay, if you want core and console, you might as well just get ultimate, right? Because you're gonna save yourself almost $10, right, or whatever, $5 to whatever, $10, depending on your taxes, right?
And plus,
but I don't play PC. That's okay. I don't either. I don't care. I don't even use it. But it comes along with it.
And it makes my ROG ally, 10 times more better. It's like my mindset on PC, and I've explained this before, was mainly for Steam. Now, it doesn't have to be on Steam. In fact, I would prefer if it was on Xbox and it was play anywhere. So that way I don't have to double dip. I get the Xbox version and the PC version, like I did for Streets of Rage, or would have had I noticed that, because I didn't realize, but I did do it for Turtles, right? In fact, I didn't even have to buy Turtles. It's still on Game Pass. Oh, but if they ever remove it off of Game Pass, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the DLC because, Game Pass doesn't give you the DLC for free, right? So that's there. But the thing I wanted to say was, on top of all this stuff that they did with Game Pass, where they changed the pricing and they killed Live and they renamed it to Core and all this stuff, right? They brought back the dollar trip. It worked.
Yeah, they did. It's on. Yeah, it's back now.
It's back. So like, what more do you want? Like, there's no
dude. Seriously,
there's no logic to any of this.
No, it doesn't. And I kept reading the comments like, "Are you serious?" It's like, do I actually have to make a video? And I did. And I broke it down with the calculator. Even Punty got a laugh out of that because he's like, dude, you pulled out the calculator? It's like, dude, I have to show people you're going to pay a lot more if you buy core and console separately than just getting ultimate and get all of the 3 tiers below it, right? And I'm like, but there's always a but. But tech, what if I don't play on PC? Well, don't play on PC. You don't have to. You don't have to, because I don't play on PC, but it's included.
It's included. Just like the cloud thing. I don't really use the cloud too much, but it's an option. It's there. It's something they're slowly building now, while it's nothing now to become something later.
But everybody has the answers. All these couch business people, they know the answers, right? So I'm surprised they're not working for Microsoft like they do. You're doing it all wrong. I got the answer for you. And I'm like, dude, it's like, seriously, this is our community bitching about core, gold being core, which you're getting.
It's actually not our community. It's the haters who are trying to find a complaint against Microsoft, or if they're a pony or whatever, or if you just anti Microsoft like this, big forehead moron, right? Like, it's all these people who are just trying to find something to complain about to make the whole situation look bad. But if you put even a modicum of logic into the situation, you instantly realize there's nothing to complain about. Everything is better than it was same.
Now, what I will give them credit is on the console and PC. I get the hate that PC doesn't. You don't have to pay online to play online, right? It's just you just play online and that's it, right? And it's $1 less, right? Where in console, if you sign up for console only, we're not talking about you having core. If you're just a silver member, like the free version, and get console because you want to play all the games, then you're not able to play online.
But the PC situation is different. Not only are the servers, like on PC, you used to be able to run your own servers, although that's not a thing they really do anymore, right? Because you remember when they started renting servers, like in Battlefield, like you could rent servers and then you could play in your own server. Like they tried to switch the whole world to that, and that didn't really work. But on PC, like, it's not a service. That's what Xbox Live was and now is, and now it's the Xbox Network, right? It's a service. It's walled garden because these are consoles. These are not PCs.
Yeah.
Console dudes still say I'm in spaces all the time. They love to talk about how they're console dudes. They're not PC dudes. They want simplicity. So if you want that simplicity, you got to pay for that. And you want that wall on guarding to protect you from a lot of the bullshit. Like, that's what it does, right? On PC, it's the Wild Wild West. You don't have to buy from Xbox. You don't have to buy from Epic. You don't have to buy from Valve. You can buy from whoever you want, or just use all of them and get whoever's got the the best price that day for the game you want, right?
Yep.
Or Amazon. It's like on my ROG Ally, I have all those apps on the desktop I'm on now. I have all those apps installed, right? I just got Homeworld off of the Epic Store, right, for free. I was looking to get that game for a while on Steam. It had been on my wish list. Now it's on Epic for free. I just make sure that I marked it on my account, right? Simple, but it's the Wild Wild West. There's no one thing. Every service is like in its own little pocket that you can move to. But on Xbox or even PlayStation, it's this one thing. And all these complaints about it, it's against Xbox, but PlayStation has been doing it for 2 generations now. Last generation, when they started doing it, there was no talk about it. It just happened, and nobody ever complains about it. But Microsoft has been doing it from the beginning. I get that, but they've always gotten crap for it. But Sony's been doing it for 2 generations now. Nobody says nothing.
Well, even their current tiers are awful.
Yeah.
Like let's see if I can bring it up. But their tiers are awful. And I always say, if you're going to sign up for one, PS Plus.
Yeah, I went straight from gold to ultimate as well, Punty. I knew about it, and that's why I didn't get the regular Game Pass. In fact, I didn't get Game Pass until they introduced Ultimate, right? I stayed on Xbox Live. I didn't, Game Pass was around before they added the Ultimate tier, right? It was around there for like 2 years, maybe, right? Before they introduced it. That's when I switched over because I didn't need Game Pass. I was buying most of those games anyway, right? Well, not most of those games, but the games that were on Game Pass that were of interest, I usually already had them by the time they hit Game Pass anyway, and they weren't really that much. And it wasn't the first party stuff. Not only did they add that to Ultimate, where you had the online, but that's when they added the first party stuff, I think. Because, wait, no, I think the first party was there, but there was some kind of a caveat that when they added Ultimate, that they addressed it to a point. Besides the Xbox Live integration, that made me jump on. That was the other reason. I don't really remember what it was, but I think it was that. But basically, yeah, it was like a no-brainer. If you're already on Xbox, and they converted all your months over for $1, right? That was the whole reason they had the whole dollar thing. Like PlayStation dudes, of course, love to make it seem like it was some other blah blah blah. As always, with the disingenuous lies, like, and then saying it like it's straight facts.
So I'm looking at their. Let's see. Let me bring it up. I'm looking at theirs. I think it's changed up since it started. So that's good. If they're updating their services, that's good. Because it wasn't like this when they first started out. It was confusing. It was terrible. And when I first looked at them, when they first came out with their Essential, Extra, and Premium, I was looking at it and said, you know what? Your best bet is just stick to Extra, not the Premium. Premium was trash.
Yeah.
Right. So now I'm looking at this. It looks like they kind of revamped it a little bit, but without saying anything. They do shadow revamps all the time.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it's better than the other one because, like, well, this is why. Because classics, I don't know about what the classics. I guess those are old games,
right?
The game trials, which is terrible. He's like, you're gonna lock,
and they're probably first party games too, not third party games.
Yeah, those are the ones that he gives you like 10 hours. I forgot 2 hours or something to play.
Yeah, it's probably Halo, Forza, stuff like that. Like the first party Xbox games.
But this is
to be Call of Duty.
It's PS Plus.
Oh, you're talking about PS Plus. Oh, I was talking about the console version of Game Pass now. Because when they talk about those 25 games.
Yeah, these. Oh, they announced which games are coming first. They already did. Yeah, they did.
Okay,
it's
like
out
what?
Somewhere. Ori, Doom. I think one of the Halos. I forgot Gears wasn't on it. There's a bunch of good. There's a good lineup for the first 25.
Oh, well, okay. Well, except for Ori, all of that was first party stuff that you named. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just logical sense that it is, like first party would be at the head, not the only, but probably that the majority was. And there you have it.
Yeah, let's see if I can look it up. Okay, so here we go. It's on their site too. It's gonna be Among Us, which I don't think that should be in there. Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Forza 4, Gears 5, Grounded, Guardians, Halo Wars 2, Hellblade, which is a great one, Human Fall Flat, Inside, Ori, and the Will of the Wisps. I think they should have just put both Oris in there.
Yeah, but, this is the lower tier. You're gonna miss something, right?
Yeah. Psychonauts 2. Oh, that's a great add-in too. That's a great game. City K, good. Elder Scrolls. I mean, I'm not into that, but I guess there's some people who would be. So those are your first 25 they're going to put in there. And what they said is that new titles will be added 2 or 3 times a year. So I don't know if they're going to just attack it onto this list and then kind of rotate some at some point. Because I don't believe they're going to just keep this list static. They're going to
rotate the ones that are not first party, because 90% of what you named was first party.
Yeah.
Or maybe the non-first party ones will get rotated around, and maybe 1 or 2 of the first party ones will get rotated around. But you won't see Starfield on there for maybe 2 years. Oh no. Right? Yeah, well, after it's sold out and everybody who's going to purchase outright a version has done so, right? Yeah. And then maybe they'll toss it on there to get you, some more eyes on that, a basic version. But the one criticism I have about this, if you can go back to that chart with the 4 versions. Have you got it? Yeah. So console and core, I feel like for the $1, right? It should just be 1, right? For $10.99, you just add the online play. But then that's what Ultimate is.
That's what Ultimate is.
So but it shouldn't just okay, but how do you rectify that? Well, you really don't. You can only make them 2, because if you put both of the features together, then it's worth more than the $11 of the console version. So it got to be Ultimate. So that's why it exists. When you look at it's a $1 difference, but one has something the other does not, and it's stupid to want to get both, so they have Ultimate, and it's a savings, a clear savings. That's what you're talking about with the calculator. It's duh.
Yeah. Because, you have people who like to play online, but they buy their 1 or 2 games per year. Let's just say Call of Duty, right? Or their Battlefield. Okay. So core is perfect for that person because they don't care about anything else. They want to play Madden. They want to play NBA, or hockey. They play online. That's all they play. So they have there's no point for them to get Ultimate because, they only buy their 1 or 2 games per year. And core is just right for that person. Yeah. But then you got the other person who doesn't care about multiplayer, has no interest playing multiplayer, and that person buys game physically or digitally and plays whatever they play. That's a single player mainly, right? But let's just say that person who does not play online says, "But I want to try all the Game Pass games." That's when console comes into play. They can go straight to that and have access to all the games that's in Game Pass, even day 1 games, right? And that's good enough for them, right? And some people are just, I guess we live in this gaming community now that everybody pretty much has online. You rarely meet anybody's. I don't play online. I don't even have gold, right? I don't have core. Right. I just have my console and my 1 game. Right? You just don't meet those type of people anymore. It's hard to find for people to grasp, to understand that there's somebody out there who actually does not, and all he cares about his single player games, which console would be perfect for that guy or girl. Yeah. Right? It'd be perfect for that person. Right? But if you're the one that does everything, well, heck, go with Ultimate. Your best bet is go with Ultimate. It's that simple. That's simple. And again, we tell them every time. You know it. I know it. We mention it all the time. Get those Bing points. Get the rewards. Because we don't pay for Ultimate. I redeem my points. I get it for free. I don't understand how people not get this. And we say
now they remove the Game Pass Ultimate or even any Game Pass on it. So what I did was I switched it to Amazon. And I just used the gift card and just buy it that way. The same thing.
Wait, they
Same
switched
end result.
it out?
Yeah. Game Pass isn't an option to pick from the thing anymore. So I just switched it to Amazon gift cards, and
I just
do it
redeemed
that
like
way.
a whole year the other day.
Yeah, well, just in time. Well, you did it just in time then, because
me
they
look.
took it off.
I'm gonna look right now. Now.
It's not something you could redeem from the Microsoft Rewards program anymore. It's just not.
Oh,
it's
you're
not an
sure
option.
right. Those bastards. What am I
And
doing
if
with my?
like, you had it marked as your thing, it's gone. But they have Xbox Live Gold. It's
They
still
got
there.
gold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. But
What's the
it's
point?
going to be gone soon. The gift card is there for Xbox gift cards. Is still there. But here's the thing with gold. Remember, you could use that and convert it to thing. But if you're already in Ultimate, I don't think you can even use these. So I don't think you can use gold. Well, actually, not bad because they did the dollar thing. But you have to wait till your Ultimate is run out and then upgrade to gold, or which will be the core at that point, and then you do the dollar thing to upgrade, to the full Ultimate. So,
but can't you just redeem it? Can't you just redeem it for gift cards and then pay Ultimate with gift cards?
Well, I don't do it with the Xbox gift cards. I use Amazon gift cards, right?
Let's see. Is there Amazon here?
Yeah. $10 gift cards are there. That's what I'm using now.
Oh, they sure are. Let's see.
And that's what I
do. What's the max they got? $10.
Yeah, $10.
Oh, no, you can do custom.
Yeah. They have the other ones that's like $5 or whatever. The $5 one. I'm already past the points you need for $5, except I'm going for the $10 one. So. But there's the Microsoft gift card. You could use that instead, and it's as low as 1,600 points. You don't need as many points to get to that level.
Yeah.
But like I say, there's many ways to do it. Just use your brain and be a smart shopper. It's that simple.
Yeah. Just people. God. A lot of people like to pay the face value. Don't ever pay face value, man. Never pay face value. That's just insane. So let's get with the hype over the new dashboard. So this is what it's supposed to look like next, right?
It's already out now.
It's out. I haven't gotten it yet. So
well, it's been out for everybody since I think yesterday it started.
Oh no, then mine's not updated yet. God, dang it! The stupid headphones are in the way. Yeah, I'm trying to perfectly center this. All right, that's good enough. Anyways, so this is what it looks like.
You know what you can do? You can right click and open that image in a new tab and then hit F11. I'll full screen it.
New tab. Oh. Duplicate tab.
No, just the image itself. Yeah.
Oh, just the image. Open.
Yeah,
open image. Okay. I see.
Yeah. Then there you go.
Look at that. Yeah, it still looks the same. But either way, this is page. I don't know. I saw nothing wrong with the old one.
I saw nothing wrong with the old one, but see, and that's the thing I don't like about this one, and it's my only issue with it. Otherwise, it seems to be all fine. Okay, all the buttons are up top, but it's just like I feel like. So is the hidden guide on the left is it gone? Oh, the Xbox button? No, it's still there. You hit the Xbox button, it still pops out. It's still exactly the same. I didn't even change that. What they mainly changed was, and this is my criticism. This is my only criticism, right? Okay. You got the 5 things on top. That's cool, right? But if you hit the Xbox button, you can get to those as well. But even in the old dashboard, like the Xbox button to get to the left menu was the alternate way of doing everything.
Yeah.
And they always meant it to be that, right? But my criticism is, like, in this image here, you see how Starfield is highlighted and it's like the bigger icon?
Yeah.
But you can move the highlight across any of those things in that row you see there with Disney and it ends with Party Animals. Yeah. And whichever one you highlighted is the big one, right?
Yeah.
But on the previous dashboard, like the one on the left was the active program. Mm-hmm. If it was a disc, it would have the disc icon on it to let you know, oh, it's the game from the disc in your drive, or if you're watching a Blu, right? Okay, whichever is the active thing. Now you know what's active. Like if you have a game running, I don't know.
There's no indicator?
I don't. If there is one, I don't know what it is. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And that was my criticism from when I first saw that this was an alpha. When I got in beta about a month or so ago, right? I'm like, I couldn't find it. So maybe it's there and I don't know, but I looked and didn't see it, right? So I just wish that the active, game or app or whatever it was highlighted, or it was there because that's what you're actively running on the system, and it should have that special place to be notified as such, right? And it doesn't do that anymore. So in that regard, this is more like the PlayStation dashboard now, in a way, and I don't like that. But other than that, it's
the
cool.
PlayStation one is a mess. I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a mess too.
Because you have a menu system up top. Because I'm always getting confused, right? Even though I own one, and there's a menu system up top, just like what you see here, right? But then you also have a pop-up menu system that comes up from the bottom when you hit your PlayStation thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm always being confused which one to use when I want to do something, right? It's not as easy as just, like, oh, I know where to go. And then here, at least with the Xbox, I know where to go because I'm so used to it and I use it all the time.
Right.
PlayStation. So people are criticizing like, well, you just ripped this off of PlayStation. Not really.
Well,
it's like all they did was kind of shift these things down, the little cubes, right? And then that's it, and put the little stuff up top, which, okay, maybe that part they ripped off of PlayStation, the top menus that you see up there, or the buttons.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, because their highlighting system for a game is like a huge mess. Kind of looks like the old Tumblr. I don't know if there were squares all over the place to represent that game, and like, oh, check out the latest screenshot. Oh, check out the latest, video. Oh, these are the patch notes from the thing. Like, they're square. It's like, it's not unified. It's not symmetrical or anything. It's just a huge mess. I'm like, I don't like that. At least this is kind of like more symmetrical. You have the 4 square bottoms at the bottom, right? They're not overlapping each other or anything like that. The same thing with the second row. And then you still got your old menu system on the left side being hidden. I don't know. It's just,
this is weird.
It's just weird, yeah. So I don't know what people are complaining about then, besides what you just said.
That's the only real issues I have, because everything else is mostly the same. It's really just this main menu part that got changed out, and it seems a little lighter and faster. Maybe it's using even less memory again, right? Like they optimize it even more so. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, right? Yeah, cool dashboard. Even the Xbox One has this dashboard update now too, as well. So it's not just the series consoles. They're still supporting the Xbox One because there's no real reason for them not to support it. Like, they're not making any new games, right? But developers are fine to make games. And if it's an indie game, like the Turtles, beat 'em up, or the upcoming Toxic Avengers or something simple like that, right? That doesn't need the new system to run. It'll probably still run on the older system, like they'll make it compatible, but that'll be up to the developer, right? And so those systems are still viable. And even with the cloud thing, right? Even as a cloud terminal, if you're not playing anything that's already on the system or whatever, and you want to play something new and you don't have the new system like a Series S at a minimum, you can still access those on the cloud because it's still being supported. Just like the 360, it's still being supported. They stopped making it ages ago. They stopped making games for it ages ago, but it's still supported because there's no reason for it not to be. There's not a software delineation that requires them to not support it anymore, right? In fact, they went above and beyond to make sure it stayed compatible, unlike with PlayStation, where even though the PS3, it too still works, and it's basically the same situation. Like, there's a lot of jank with that. It works, but it's holding on for dear life. And the fact that Microsoft is, providing them the online, like the servers and everything, it's probably another reason why it still works.
Yeah, I gotta wait until I get it and give my thoughts on it. I mean, I don't play dashboards.
Yeah,
I play games, so it's not a big deal. People,
that's the whole thing with the Xbox dashboard. You always want it to be light and fast. And
that's pretty much it. I don't care how many squares are on there. Just give me lightning fast so I can get to my games really quick, and that's it. I don't play dashboard. I don't turn on my Xbox and like, look, the dashboard's so pretty. I'm just gonna leave it all day right there. Oh,
yeah. No. Speaking of pretty, when they switched it to 4K, I didn't even really notice. I don't like before it wasn't 4K. I didn't really notice it, and of course, the ponies all of a sudden wanted to bring that up. Blah blah blah. Right?
Because they're the ones going to analyze every tidbit of the dashboard,
right? To find something to nitpick, right? Yeah. But the thing on top of that was Microsoft made it clear it was a choice. Either they upgrade the dashboard to be 4K and eats up more RAM that the developers could be using, or they give that RAM to developers. They were like, yeah, let's give it to the developers. That's more important. And then later on,
it is.
Microsoft being as awesome as they were able to optimize it to such a point where it used even less RAM, right? And supported 4K. So they got best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way to do it. Put the customer first.
Yeah. I mean, you had these dude, when the series came out, I heard even just Xbox people complain like, oh God, why can't we get our new dashboard? It just kind of feels like we're just staying the same with the Xbox One and yada yada yada. I was like, dude, are you playing games or are you just looking at the dashboard all day?
Yeah. Then every time they redo the dashboard, it's like they're starting from ground zero all over again. So all that optimization, all the bugs that they fix now, when you make a new dashboard, new stuff, that's new bugs, new crap you got to deal with that wasn't a thing before. Like, it took a long time for this dashboard to get to this point. This is really just a looks aspect, but behind the scenes, it's more optimized than ever before. It's faster, uses less memory, it's more feature packed. It does more with less, right? Yes. And this is what Xbox One has. So if you have an Xbox One, One or One X, you're gonna feel that difference on those systems too.
So Punty asked a question. What do we think about the rumor of the PlayStation 5 Pro? And it could be releasing as late as 2024. Insider previously reported that a new PlayStation 5 with its detachable disc drive is scheduled to release later this year. It's understood a new model will be phased out the current PlayStation 5 to cut down on production costs and shipping costs. Dude, if these machines are as powerful as they say, both of them, not just the PlayStation, why bother with the mid-gen thing?
Okay, well, number one, I don't think the mid-gen refresh is real at all, right? That's just a pony narrative that's been, in the wake of the showcase and the massive L that Sony's been taking behind that, because they showed nothing at their showcase, basically, right? Like, even PlayStation fans, the ponies at very first were speaking clearly. Even they were saying, right? All the Porter Rocks and J-Dubs, all them clowns for that first 15 minutes, not literal 15 minutes, but you get what I'm saying, right? In that first little bit, even they admitted it, right? So then it became a whole thing of, let's make some new excuses, some more crap to complain about, right? And so that's what this is, right? So they started a rumor, and it's always like that there's a new PlayStation coming up. Meanwhile, Phil Spencer on the Xbox side is like, no, we're not making a mid-gen refresh. And let's examine the whole...
And that's so good that he came out and said something instead of just let it marinate out there. Like, oh my God, is Xbox going to do something? How are they going to respond? Oh my God, they're going to take our money. Oh God.
Yeah. And let's think about those mid-gen refreshes that they had last generation. Who really benefited from that? Xbox did, right? Because they took the power narrative, like the power aspect, right? Number one. Number two, the PS4 Pro didn't really move the needle at all for PlayStation fans.
PS4 Pro was worse. Because I had it.
I never bought one. I never bought one because it was loud and hot and all that. And I wanted one for the performance that it gave the PS4 games. I wanted one, but it was always loud and all these. So I never bought one. You had one, and I almost bought yours. But I didn't know you were
serious, dude. It was loud. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
that thing was loud. Like I'll be out there, but most of the time I would have my headphones on either way. But those quiet moments, those kind of like low key moments in the game, you start hearing the outside noise, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that?
The PS4 Pro. Yep.
And I listen like, holy shit, it's the PlayStation. Why is that thing so loud? It's open. It's in the open.
And the PlayStation fans didn't even care. It really didn't sell that well. They didn't really care. The One X did better, but it gave Xbox the power narrative. It kept Xbox in the running, because without that, I don't know if Xbox would have been able to survive to get to the series, right? Yeah. This generation, right? It was the thing that kept their heads just above water, in my opinion, right? So now that Phil Spencer has come out and said the Xbox isn't doing that, Sony hasn't done the same thing to say that it's not coming either. I wish they really would, right? Because they probably have a lot of PlayStation fans, you know, in a holding pattern. Like, do I buy a PS5? Like, you know, for those PlayStation fans who don't have one yet, right? Now it's gonna put a lot of doubt in their mind. It's like, should I wait? But the other aspect of the rumors that's going around about a you know, internal redesign, I'm sure that's coming, you know, because now there's rumors that it's not using the liquid metal. Yeah, because if it's a die shrink to 5 nanometers, it's number one using less power, thus less heat, so it doesn't need to, you know, as robust as a cooling system to cool it. Yeah. And plus, because it's on smaller nanometers, like they say, it's 5 compared to 7. That means they get more chips off of each wafer, which means it costs Sony less money, which means the PlayStation itself will cost less, right? It's, you know, every couple of years, and, you know, all throughout the life of consoles, you know, and Sony was particularly good with that, right? They would slowly make the system cost less for them, right? And thus for us as well, right? And would reduce the price of the system. So a removable drive is probably going to, I believe that too, because what they're probably going to do is meld the two versions into one. Like, you know, the version that they have with the drive and without, it'll be the one system. Like, they'll have the version with the removable drive is already in the package, and one without. And then later on, if you want to get the drive, you can get the drive later.
Sounds like they're going the Xbox 360 plus a HD drive route. Remember that?
And it's a cross between that and like what they called the SAT edition of the Xbox One S. Remember the version without the drive, but it was literally the same system. They just, you know,
they just took it out.
Yeah, they just took the drive out. We saw the motherboard was literally the same. And if they were, and other than the security thing that keeps from you just swapping drives and putting one in, right? Because there was a security thing with that, right? Besides that, it would have worked, right? You could have taken a drive from a 1S that had a, you know, the drive and plug it in. It would have worked otherwise.
Well,
right?
Wait. Yes and no.
There was a security thing, so it would not have worked. But
it wouldn't have worked. Yeah, you couldn't take it out from a working a broken S and say, you know, I'm just gonna pop this in there, and it work. It's not gonna work. You know?
It's not gonna work because of a security thing that prevented it from working.
Yeah.
It was just like when, you know, it used to be that the hard drive in the Xbox One did not work. But after a while, they turned off that security because you were able to put an SSD into one of your 1Ss, right?
Yes, I did. My 1X actually.
Okay, because they disabled that security.
And I did a speed test. Like I did a load of Sea of Thieves, right? Before I put the SSD drive, just whatever stock it was, and it took whatever minute and so whatever it took long, because Sea of Thieves took a long time to load up, right, on the Xbox One X, even on the Xbox One X, and said, all right, I timed it, I took it off, I put the SSD in there, loaded the drivers and the OS and all that, put Sea of Thieves loaded, dude, it shaved off a lot of seconds on there, a lot.
Nice.
I think it cut it down like 50%.
Yeah, it would have, because the SSD, even though, you know, the throughput isn't going to be that much faster, because, you know, internally, the hard drives are behind like a USB interface. It's not, the SATA connector isn't plugged right into the south bridge or the north bridge, you know, like it's traditionally supposed to be. Internally, even the hard drive is still just a USB device, right?
Yeah.
So, the other thing,
it was a good project to do. I was nervous till I was gonna brick my Xbox, because it was my Scorpio. I think it was my Scorpio. And I didn't want to lose it. And no, it works. It works. It's still running. That's what my son's playing right now.
Well, right. When you told him to go upstairs and go play, that's the one he went to go use. See, so there you have it. But also, you know, so like, and Punty is bringing up, if you think Sony is doing this, you know, Microsoft is doing the same thing to get the you know, their console prices down, because this new PlayStation, I guarantee you, will be cheaper, right? There's already talk that they're finally starting to reduce the price back to where it used to be in certain regions already, that they had increased the price, that they're reducing it back down. And you can imagine that Microsoft is going to do the same thing. And they already started, when you look at that black edition of the Series S, where it has the 1 terabyte drive, because what do you call those chips, right, for the SSDs, like the flash the chips, like they're reducing in price crazy. SSDs are plummeting in price all over on PC and elsewhere, right?
Yep.
So Microsoft is passing on that savings to the consumer. So for the same price you used to get for the half a terabyte system, now they have a black system with a full terabyte for the same original price. So eventually, I'm pretty, and even though they're selling that that older model even cheaper, right? I think it's like $199. Eventually, they're gonna have die shrink, right, for the Series X and S, right? That's gonna be a cheaper system with everything the same in terms of performance and features and all that, just cost less, and that's gonna save Microsoft and it's gonna save the consumers, right? And for now, they've already passed along the savings. We get a bigger drive for the same price console, but eventually, when they have that cheaper the manufactured console, it's gonna drop the price. And then you think the Series S is going crazy selling now, bro? Wait till they pack that in with Starfield or whatever, or they have a Series X that's cheaper and cooler and possibly half the height and packed it with Starfield or whatever.
So I was about to get into that, like the shape and the size and all that, because I'm looking at mine right now. I'm looking at my Halo edition, which is nothing different than the launch one because it's the same size, same dimension, except a design on it.
I still wish you would send me that controller that it came.
Nope.
You can't get it anywhere else.
And then I'm looking at it, like, how can they pack that up even more down? I mean, it's I don't know, man, because it's a very symmetrical shape. It's just a rectangle tower.
Yeah.
I mean, how much?
Just make the tower not as tall. Like, there's a lot of images where they're showing it like in white but half as tall, right?
Yeah.
I could see that being a good mock-up because the idea is like the main thing is the SoC is going to be smaller, less power hungry, and thus produces less heat, right? So the heat sink could be smaller too. All that copper that they're using it, big fan, maybe the fan won't be as big, won't have to spin as fast, right? Just like they do with the Series S. It's a less complicated machine. So
the S is like such a big fan, though. Yeah,
big fan, but everything else is simpler, right? Yeah. And that fan spins slower because it's a big fan, so it can spin slower and still move a lot of air, right? They could do that same thing with the Series X, where they leave the fan, but it spins slower because it's half as tall because it produces less heat, and still be all those things that cost less, but still have the same performance, like they always do with consoles, where internally it's cheaper parts that perform at least as good, right? And sometimes once in a while they add in a feature or two. And PlayStation definitely needs that because hardware-wise, it can't do certain things that the Xbox has been able to do day one. Like they barely got the VRR snuck in there, right? But there's other things it can't do, where it can't do real 4K 120 at 10-bit with the full 4:4 color, right? It has to be reduced in terms of color rate, right? So that could be something else that they improve, right?
Yeah.
Where it's up to snuff like the Xbox was from day one. So, bro, like these things are coming. They're probably going to happen in the springtime, I think. Because if PlayStation was going to do it, I think like PlayStation would have announced it already or something like that. Like as time passes, this month is almost over. Like, when are they going to do that? It's about to be August soon, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't do it this year, they're probably going to do it in springtime. I think both of them will start doing it in spring or whatever. Maybe early summer, or maybe at the E3 conference, the summer conferences. That will be their announcement then.
Well, me being the couch expert that I am, right? Because we all have the answers. Everybody that sits at their desk and sits on their couch. We have all the answers for all these trillion-dollar companies, right? I say no mid-gen. Be different. Just keep going what you got. I don't think they need a new one at all. It's just all they really need to do, and it will happen eventually. It's a common thing, like I said. Is just make a cheaper version, where it costs less money to make, but still have all the same features. It's been almost 3 years now, so that's supposed to be on the way from both of them, right? I mean, Nintendo did a year later with their Switch because that chip was already 2 years old when they first started using it from NVIDIA. So, expect PlayStation and Xbox to do the same thing probably next year. All right, let's move it along with one last thing. I think you wanted to talk about was the awesomeness of Ratchet Clank. I mean, hold on. I'll say it like this. Let me say it like this. I guess Mark Cerny was right. You do
What?
need the magical, super duper, futuristic SSD that's light years ahead than any other SSD that's on the market, right? So PCs can run it, so the PCs can run it, because we gain Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart keeps crashing on startup on PCs. Supposedly there's a fix for it a couple of days ago, but I don't play Rift Apart on PC, so I don't know.
It had a couple of bugs here and there. I think, they had a patch for it that fixed that. A little bit of jank, like the porting. Nix's had a little bit of jank there. That it happens. Once in a blue. What was that Nix's port that they did that was really ass? There was
Last of Us. No.
Last of Us, right?
Yeah. Was it? Yes. Last of Us. Yes.
But that wasn't Nix's. I don't think. I think they did that internally themselves, right?
I don't know, but
Insomniac, whatever.
It was ass.
No, but either way, it was ass, right? It happens. It's been largely fixed now, from what I hear. It even works not too bad on the Steam Deck, right? But Ratchet and Clank, once again, hell, it works on the Steam Deck even. There's some ways to get it up to 60. Like ETA Prime did a great video today, right, about that, right? Works nice on the ROG Ally, things like that. It just goes to show, because you could run an SD card, right? The only one thing, as always, Digital Foundry, these fuck faces, right? They still had to try their little jab, but even they knew to immediately after make the point, and that's what I retweeted. Hopefully you saw the retweet, where they made it clear they used the PlayStation 4 laptop hard drive that they just had laying around, because I'm sure when they replaced the drive with an SSD, back when they did videos about that, like they still had SSD in their PS4, so somewhere they still had that drive and they tried it, but just so they could have some clip, for these ponies to use all the time, where it's stuttering on this slow ass laptop drive, right? But they made it abundantly clear, and that's the part that I retweeted. Even they made it abundantly clear themselves, right? That if you use an actual proper even a laptop hard drive that's not as old and dusty and worn out like the one they use, right? It'll be fine. Hell, there's even people who's played it on the Steam Deck off the SD card. That's still technically an SSD because it's a solid state drive. So thus the the seek times aren't like the same as the physical drive. It ran fine on that. But there are people who have used old ass hard drive. Even K Mega, he showed it. In fact, there's a YouTube page. I should have retweeted it because nobody's really following it. These videos have like 50 views at best. I think it was below 50, like in the 40s. Where on PC, right? He's using a separate app called Hardware Info, right? That's measuring the drives and how much data throughput is being put to the drives, and it's nowhere even near the speed of the max speed of the PlayStation, of even the Xbox drive, let alone the PlayStation drive, which admittedly is supposed to be at least hardware, twice as fast a drive, right? It's not even approaching the full speed of the Xbox drive, let alone the PlayStation, thus proving it's not the SSD that's that's making this happen, right? It's been proven now because we can F with it and see this, right? So guaranteed these PC dudes are gonna, and they already started, and it's already been proven. But of course, the PlayStation fanboys is gonna use that footage of Digital Foundry, which is why they did that in the first freaking place, right? With their disingenuous asses, right? They already did that, but the PC dudes, and they've already, disproven all the crap. But wait till they go really ham. Like I'm saying, there's this one guy who's already doing this stuff where he's like measuring, how fast the drives are really running when these scenes are happening.
Yeah.
And he's seeing that the drives really aren't even being taxed like that, right? And then we're seeing it with the Steam Deck. Wait till these PC guys really get into the nitty gritty, like the really nitty gritty. Like you think Digital Foundry gets into shit, bro? Wait till these PC dudes really get balls deep into this stuff and really show you that all this stuff was a lie. Because now that they have the game on PC, and it's already been cracked because it doesn't have the Denuvo, right? It was just the Steam protection, which it's already been cracked and pirated online because it's not a Denuvo game, right? So Wait till they break down the game, the code, and they see what's happening behind the scenes, right? And so it's like the Wizard of Oz, where they pull out the case, and and the wizard is this old dude. Yeah. Don't look at the guy behind the thing. He's not really. Yeah, bro. Wait till all of that happens, then they really break down how it's really working internally, and all the secrets is out. But bro, these PlayStation fanboys is already taking the L with the marketing lies that they did. That isn't really leveraging anything. Is it making it better than it would have been on a hard drive? Of course, right? It loads faster like an SSD would, but when it needed SSD, hell no. And it was proven when they put out the tech specs, the tech requirements for the game.
Yes.
So it's already been negated anyway. But wait till they get the nitty gritty with all the details, all the receipts.
All right. I'm going to close it out with this. It's just an announcement. If you're going to be in the Dallas area, the weekend of August 10th through the 13th, specifically Grapevine, which is in the middle of Dallas and Fort Worth, I'll be there for QuakeCon 2023, a 4-day event, which is a huge LAN party. If you don't know what the event is about, they have a bunch of keynotes, a lot of introductions, a lot of reveals of games. Especially, this is the event where I saw the reveal of Doom Eternal, because it's a Bethesda event. So it's a Bethesda. They're coming to our town here in Grapevine to do this yearly in-person event. The last 3 years has been down because of COVID, but now it's back, and it's gonna be a trimmed down version, at least for this year. And I think in the preceding the years following, they'll expand it to what it was before the lockdown, because it used to be it is this huge big event for 4 days straight: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And like I said, if you're gonna be there or you're gonna be in the Dallas area, go. Great event. I try not to miss it every year since I've moved here to Dallas, because it's an awesome event. I'm gonna try to do something out there, like a show.
And because the 10th is the Thursday.
Yeah, it's the Thursday.
So I'd love if you could do like a live stream.
I'm gonna try to do a live show, hopefully with some limited equipment there. I mean, I could take my stuff, but I don't want to take too much stuff,
Yeah, with these phones and stuff, maybe that should be enough. Hopefully.
Yeah. And then just talk to some people there on the spot, and they'll be like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And it sounds like it's thundering outside. I don't know. And so I cannot wait for this, because I days off that Thursday and Friday, because Thursday is pretty much a kind of like wasted day, because you go in there and not register, but kind of check in, because I've already registered and paid my dues, and then set up my Xbox, but I'm not just taking my Xbox. I'm taking the Series S because it's small. But if you guys, I think you guys were around, but I have that suitcase that I put it in that has the screen with it, right? So I don't know. So I have a video of that in the chat and look for it. So that's gonna be that Thursday through Sunday, and then Friday. So Thursday is like the wasteful day. You just kind of check in and look at what's going on, kind of get a feel for the show, what they're gonna offer that day, right?
Right.
See, yeah, here it is, and then Friday I'll go back again. So I'll go home that Thursday night to go to sleep. Then Friday morning I'll go back. But this time I'm taking everything with me, like my clothes and food and everything, because I'm staying there till Sunday. I'm staying at the hotel. So nice. I already told the wife, I was like, hey, hotel from Thursday to Sunday, bring the kids, because they have a water park there.
Oh, nice.
So while I'm having fun, they can go to the water park.
It keeps them occupied, so they're not on your back when you
kind of have fun. It's not only like, oh, daddy wants to play video games all weekend with his friends and yada yada yada, bitch about it because daddy's having fun. But it's like, hey, they have a water park. It's all included with the hotel. Go take advantage of it. It's right there.
Nice.
So here's the case I'm talking about. I'm putting in the regular chat for everybody to see. If you haven't seen it, this is the case that I'm talking about, and you guys are going to get your mind blown because it's a pretty sick case, and I've had it since it got released. I actually ordered it through their kind of like their not their Kickstarter. What's another thing that's out there? Indio, I forgot what it was, but the company's no longer here anymore. Who makes that case? I don't know whatever happened to that. It was like a quiet close down, and but I got the case, and people have always been like, "Man, you gonna sell it?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm not selling this case. It is too good of a case. It's a good case." And that's what I use now at QuakeCon.
How much did you pay for it?
At the time, it came with several other items. It came with a whole bunch of other stuff, and I paid like I don't know, almost 1,000, I think.
Oh,
900. But if you wanted the case by itself, it was like 700 at the time.
I'm planning to build a home theater PC, another one, because I haven't had one in a while. Right, a home theater PC, basically a PC that you have that's in the living room, so you play your games on it, but like you set up so you could use it on the TV, and you try to make it as simple to use, as console-like as you can. So I had this case here. In fact, I'm gonna send you a link that you can put on the screen for everybody. We'll talk about that real quick before we go. Right? It's called the Silverstone Grandia 11 Compact. Beautiful case. The difference between this case and the ones they have before it, because the Grandia 11, is that it doesn't have a slot for a disk drive. You don't need that with PCs nowadays. Besides, I have a USB Ultra HD Blu-ray drive anyway. If I ever need a disk drive for stuff, right?
Are you talking about one of these?
Yeah, but I have a USB one. I have an external USB one.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think I have one of those.
it kind of looks like it was made for a Mac, and indeed it works. But it's just a disk drive. It's USB. Yeah. But I put it in the private chat. I don't know if you put that on the screen. But it's got nice grill. It looks like a piece of AV equipment.
Oh, it does look like like a stereo receiver.
Yeah, like a receiver.
Yeah.
So it's got nice. It's got USB C and A, so you can have USB C if you plug in a VR headset. You can plug that right there in the front. It's got the power button and everything you need. But
dude, it's not that much. It's only 167.
Yeah. It's $167. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It will fit in everything, and you could put, if you have a water cooler with the pretty fans, like that mesh front and the front is like a mesh front. So
yeah, it looks like a receiver.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So this is what I'm going to use to put my PC together in there, and I could have it in the rack. I used to have a home theater PC with a different type of case that was much like this, but it had a DVD drive and a little LCD in the front. Stuff like that with a remote, all that stuff. I already sold that like years ago. But yeah, I want to build another one. And so, this is, something, probably I'm going to do a video on it when I finally get it. Because I was wondering about this, arcade machine with the Series S, but that's going to be a while before I get the arcade machines. So I'm going to do this. And I'll try to do a video about it when it happens. But yeah, man.
What is Bunny talking about? It's like that Xbox shirt is sick. I want to stretch it out. Pause. Like this shirt right here? This whole thing, I've had this
whole thing.
I don't know, forever. I think
I got an Xbox hat, but I don't have any Xbox shirts. I was gonna buy.
We have an Xbox hat. Damn thing is too small for my big ass noggin.
It barely fits on my head too. Yeah. It barely fits on my head too. I have to have and like no do rag on.
Yeah, I got a big head, so I need a big hat.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so. Cool, man. I want to see that. That's gonna be awesome. I like that. But yeah, I can't wait. This will be me actually right here, carrying it. Like that's a guy and all his gear. And I'm gonna take photos, I'm gonna take videos and everything. I'll put them online when I get a chance to clean them up. But I do want to do a live thing from there, and hopefully it goes well. Because I gotta find power and outlet and somewhere to set up. So, and that's not something easy because there's a crap load of people there. So we'll see.
Yeah, there always is. Especially it's the first year it's coming back. It may not be as big, or it may be even bigger because a lot of people miss it, and then a lot of people who have been missing it want to show up. So we'll see. Yep,
we'll see. So, all right, let's shut it down, everybody. Thank you for coming out tonight. So Chatterbox, you've been great. Sick, you've been awesome today. We missed Realist.
Yeah, bro.
He's working too much. He needs to take a break. And
Yes.
let's see what's next Thursday. Next Thursday is the 3rd. So yeah, I'll be around. It's let's see, the 3rd, and what's next month, the next week after that. So yeah. So after the 3rd show, August 3rd, that's when I'm be at QuakeCon. Woo! I can't wait.
Jealous,
So,
man. Jealous, man. Maybe one
I
day,
love
man,
it.
we'll
I love that
come down
event.
for QuakeCon. Yeah, that will be awesome.
It's fun. It's fun, man. And you know what? The hotels, seriously, are not expensive. I
Like
paid for 2 nights. 2 nights was like 430 something.
Oh, that's not bad. But
Dude,
when did you?
and it's a resort. It's a huge, expensive resort, and they really slashed the prices down to sell out that hotel for that event.
Okay, so when did you like
When did I book
reserve? Yeah, and when did you book it? Like recently or like a while ago?
No, this is when they first announced it earlier this year.
Oh, okay. So
Envoy.
the prices might even be cheaper now to get to
who
fill in
knows?
vacant spots.
Let's see if I have it on my phone. Envoy. Yeah, I got it here. I don't think it'll show the date when I reserved it, but let's see. Trips. Come on, trips. August 11th. When did I do this? Yeah, it doesn't say. But it's a 2-queen bedroom, enough for all 4 of us. Comes with the water park passes that they have, and it's a big resort.
Man, if I came for
Massive.
QuakeCon, I'm not even gonna need a hotel that's got all that crazy stuff. I just need, not an ass hotel, right? Something nice and clean. That's all. I'm good.
No,
But
you know
I
what?
believe-
But when you're there, you want to stay there because it's so convenient.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Just like I need to take
if
a
I'm
poop.
coming
I
with
need to drop a
someone-
load. I'm going back to my room. I'm not going to use the open one that everybody else uses.
nice. But if if I'm coming with somebody or something, yeah, sure. But otherwise, yeah, because I would think, at least for me, the main attraction for me going there would be would be QuakeCon. Meeting up with you, Legal, Realist.
Mhm.
All of you guys are down there in that triangle you always talk about. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. All right, let's sign off, everybody. Thank you. Good night. Have a good Thursday. Have a good weekend. Have fun. Keep gaming. Team Green. Good night. Bye.
Peace.